Well, friends, so welcome to online session, class 10, subject biology, live process. I am G.R. Chopde, PGT Biology, JNV Sangli. So today we are going to discuss introduction about the chapter, what are live process, types of nutrition, and autotrophic nutrition in plants. Living creatures must keep repairing and maintaining their structures. Since all these structures are made up of molecules, so they must move molecules around all the time. Living things perform certain life process like growth, excretion, respiration, circulation, etc. So what are life process? All the processes which together keep the living organisms alive and perform the job of body maintenance. जो maintain करते हैं body को, they are called life process. Life processes are the maintenance processing in living organism. They needed to prevent damage and breakdown. To do this, energy is needed for them, and to get the energy, so the life process may be digestion, that is nutrition. Yeah, one more growth is there, respiration, circulation, and excretion. So today we will discuss that in nutrition. We will discuss in nutrition.
The components of your food, such as carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, and minerals, are called nutrients. All these nutrients are compounds of carbon, which have to be obtained from different sources. These nutrients help to build your body, to grow, to repair the damages in the body, and to provide energy to carry out all life processes. The intake of nutrients and their assimilation is called nutrition. Primarily, there are three modes through which the organisms obtain their nutrition.
See, here there are three modes of nutrition. So one is that is autotrophic, another one is heterotrophic. So these we are given in your textbook. And this is a mixotrophic, and both auto as well as heterotrophic. But here we are concentrating more on autotrophic nutrition.
These are autotrophic, heterotrophic, and mixotrophic. Let us learn more about autotrophic nutrition. All animals depend on plants, either directly or indirectly, for their nutrition.
See. So these are all, whatever the animals are here. So these animals are depends on directly or indirectly to the plants.
But how do plants get their nutrition? Plants are autotrophs. The term autotroph is derived from two Greek words, auto meaning self and trophic meaning nutrition.
Okay. So here autotrophic, self-nutrition, self-feeding, khud khana bana ke khana. So that is called as autotrophic nutrition.
This implies that autotrophs are self-feeding. This type of nutrition is called autotrophic nutrition. Autotrophs use simple inorganic compounds to synthesize their nutrients, which are complex organic compounds. To do so, the autotrophs require an external source of energy.
Here, the plants will take a simple inorganic substances. So these inorganic substances, it may be a water, which will take from the soil, or it may be a carbon dioxide, so which will take from the air. And external source of energy, here generally they will use a light as a source of energy. Okay, source of energy, and convert here the complex organic nutrients.
Depending upon the external source of energy, autotrophic nutrition is further subdivided into photoautotrophic and chemoautotrophic.
Again here for your study, only we have photoautotrophic nutrition. That is, nutrition takes place in presence of sunlight. Chemo, this is for your higher classes.
Photoautotrophs use the energy from the sun to synthesize glucose and oxygen from carbon dioxide and water. This process is called photosynthesis. It takes place in the chloroplasts, where...
Remember this reaction. Okay, this reaction is very, very important. Okay, this reaction. 6 molecules of carbon dioxide, 12 molecules of water in green plants which contain chlorophyll in presence of sunlight. So they converted into, that is, a glucose, and oxygen will release as a byproduct. So oxygen here is a byproduct.
Where the pigment chlorophyll plays a very important role. The water and minerals required for photosynthesis are taken up by the roots, while openings on the leaves, called stomata, are responsible for the exchange of gases. The glucose is broken down during respiration to release the energy needed for life. In this process, plants take in oxygen and release carbon dioxide.
So here you can see, so they take a carbon dioxide from the air required for the photosynthesis, enter plant through the stomata, which are present generally on the lower surface of the leaf. Water and minerals required for photosynthesis are taken up by the roots, and here glucose plus glucose is produced, okay, in that photosynthesis. And in respiration, the reverse process will take place.
Dioxide. Examples of photoautotrophs are all green plants, algae, and even some bacteria such as cyanobacteria.
Right.
Chemoautotrophic nutrition is
for you extra, okay?
Another mode of nutrition that supplies energy to the organisms. In this mode of nutrition, the organisms take in simple inorganic substances and synthesize them into organic molecules. The energy required for this process is chemical energy.
So here, instead of sunlight, so they will use a chemical energy, okay? So they use chemicals. What are those chemicals? Just see.
An example of chemoautotrophs is the nitrosomonas bacterium. It utilizes ammonia and oxygen to synthesize nitrites and water. Energy is produced in this process.
Nitrites.
Another example is the Nitrobacter bacterium. It uses nitrites in the presence of oxygen.
So already I studied this one in 9th standard, nitrogen cycle.
To produce nitrates and energy. Similarly, thiobacillus or sulfur bacteria oxidize sulfur to make sulfates and release energy. The energy released in each of the above reactions is the result of the oxidation of inorganic substances. Isn't it remarkable that these organisms have the ability to support a complete food web without the need for light? Some chemoautotrophic bacteria are found near hydrothermal vents in the dark depths of seas. These bacteria take energy from chemicals that trickle out of the Earth's interior and use it to make sugars. To sum up, autotrophs are the primary producers in all food chains, since the materials they synthesize and store are the energy sources of all other organisms. The total biomass of autotrophs is far greater than that of animals. This reflects the dependence of animals on plants and the ultimate dependence of all life on energy from the sun.
this is we are going to study in our environment chapter, how that energy will flow from one trophic level to.
Let's summarize what we have learned so far.
See, we have learned types of nutrition: autotrophic, heterotrophic, mexotrophic. Now just we'll discuss autotrophic, that is self-feeding. Then there are two types, photoautotrophic and chemoautotrophic. In photoautotrophic, photoautotrophs use energy from the sun to synthesize glucose by taking carbon dioxide and water and release oxygen. Example, wherever there is a green color pigment, algae or higher plants. Then chemoautotrophs take simple inorganic substances and synthesize them into organic molecules with the help of chemical energy. Nitrosomonas या nitrobacter, they use the nitrates या nitrites. Okay. Now, so based on this, there is a simple exercise. See, you can take part. You can write your answer there in notebook and check. Spirogyra is a chemoautotroph, a photoautotroph, a heterotroph, a saprotroph. आप नंबर लिख के ABCD you can chat with me. Question answer box में chat करो. Very good. Some are given. It is a photoautotroph. Let's check the answer. Okay, click here and submit. Yes, your answer is right. Now come to the next one. The sugar produced during photosynthesis is stored as which compound in green plants? Glucose, fructose, sucrose, yes, starch. Here stored form पूछा है. Okay, second answer you can write. Yes, some are given glucose, some are given starch. Let me check starch. Okay, submit. Yes, it is a right answer. Third one, what does autotrophic mean? Self-feeding, self-care, self-heal, self-made. Very good. बहुत जल्दी आंसर दिया आपने. It is a, let us check, self-feeding. Then which one of the following is an example of chemoautotroph? Spirillum, cyanobacterium, nitrobacteriaceae, and nitrobacter bacterium. Abhi you have seen the example. Yes, I will check D. Okay. So like that you can do the quiz. Now there are certain quiz questions also. What is an energy source required for autotrophic nutrition? Okay, आप लिख लो and write on your notebook. See the second question. What will happen if the leaves of the plants are coated with a layer of Vaseline? Okay, so to come to these all, we will do certain other, then you will come to know. Okay, now. So nutrition, process of transfer of source of energy from outside the body of the organism to inside. So a process of intake of nutrients like carbohydrates, fats, protein, mineral, vitamins and water by an organism as well as utilization, use karna. These together is called as a nutrition. So here the uses already देखा है, prevent damage and breakdown, organisms grow के लिए मदद करता है. Okay, then life on earth depends on the carbon based molecules, that is glucose. Now types abhi dekha. Different autotrophic organisms which can make their own food, use simple substances like carbon dioxide and water. Example, green plant and some bacteria. Heterotrophs depends on others. Organisms utilize complex substances and broken down into a simpler ones. Example, animals and fungi. Then we have discussed that nutrition in plants. So green plants are autotrophic and synthesize their own food by the process of photosynthesis. The process by which green plants make their own food like glucose from carbon dioxide and water by using sunlight energy in the presence of chlorophyll. See here, carbon dioxide is coming from the air, then water is coming from the soil. Here is in a chlorophyll. In presence of sunlight, they produce glucose and release oxygen as a byproduct. And then that food is stored in the form of starch in different parts of the plant. So this is a chemical equation, very, very important. So as I told, photoautotrophs and chemoautotrophs. लेकिन हम इधर ज्यादा ध्यान देंगे photoautotrophs. ओके, अभी ये वीडियो भी आप देख सकते हैं लॉन्ग टाइम अगो क्या क्या हुआ था हमारे धरती के ऊपर. Okay, this is the Earth planet. When our Earth was very, very young, there is no life on its surface earlier. Was performed primitive bacteria in its oceans. These are certain bacteria जो पहला anaerobic थे और heterotrophs. It was a hot volcanic world था. So many hot gases are there. फिर वहाँ पे hostile to life धीरे धीरे cold होने लगा. Temperature, pressure, everything is become normal. Rain हुआ. तो warm water collected on the pits of the earth. Some of those bacteria evolved into something new, which become a green color. They started trapping the sunlight and releasing the oxygen, invented photosynthesis. They formed the underwater colonies called the stromatolites. शुरुआत कैसी हुई लाइफ that gave off the oxygen, फिर नया लाइफ आते गया. Our world become entirely green. Plants evolved. Then the photosynthesis started. Okay, now what is the raw materials? Light, chlorophyll, water, carbon dioxide. ये चार चाहिए plus nutrients are required. See, this is the range of sunlight. Okay, here visible light. So the photosynthesis takes place in presence of visible light. और ये इसका length है. See, the more rate of photosynthesis takes place in a blue range and in the red range, but there is no photosynthesis in the green range of visible light. Then second, chloroplast, all organelles in which photosynthesis occur. So they contain thylakoids and stroma, and these thylakoids contain different pigments, that is chlorophyll. Okay, A, which is the main photosynthetic pigment, chlorophyll, B भी रहता है वहाँ पे, और xanthophylls and carotenoids. So this is the structure of a leaf. So upper epidermis, then here mesophyll tissue, lower epidermis, there are stroma, stomata, which have two guard cells. They exchange the gases carbon dioxide and oxygen. So mesophyll tissues have a dot-like structure. So they are called as chloroplast or plastids. Okay, here. So this is the accent. Now steps A important है. Photosynthesis, absorption of light energy by chlorophyll molecule. So chlorophyll absorb the sunlight and release the electrons. So these are converted light energy into chemical energy, that is in the form of ATP. So during this, the splitting of water molecules also takes place in the form of hydrogen and oxygen, and that process is called photolysis. So therefore, it is called a photolysis, and oxygen का जो source है वो water है, इधर takes आना चाहिए. So water and energy, hydrogen and oxygen. This chemical energy used for the reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrates, that is in the form of glucose. और उस cycle को हम बोलेंगे Benson and Kelvin cycle. So this is how there are photosystems in the chloroplast. Okay, and this is the overall. इधर NADPH का मतलब nicotine amide adenine dinucleotide phosphate. Okay, so इधर ये chlorophyll light reaction होता है और dark reaction होता है. Okay, so what happens after photosynthesis? The food prepared by the green leaves is in the form of simple sugar called glucose. The extra glucose is stored in the leaves of the plant. Okay, that is in the form of starch. So they need for building their body, so what is required? Nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, iron and magnesium are also required, that is taken from the soil. Nitrogen is very essential element used in the synthesis of proteins and other compounds. So this is taken up in the form of inorganic nitrates or nitrites. So it is taken up as organic compounds which are prepared by bacteria from atmospheric nitrogen fixation, that is rhizobia. And this is how the stoma helps in exchange of gases, oxygen and carbon dioxide. So ये हम बाद में भी देखेंगे. Okay, now. So if you go to that further, what we are discussing, सो ऐसे आप इधर लिख सकते हैं. Okay, see the next question. Why are the green plants are called producers in an ecosystem? Okay, ऐसे आप दे सकते हैं. Okay, so similarly we will go to the next one. Okay, so thank you for ये हम बाद में देखेंगे. So thank you for joining this class.